confidence there.
Who's winning that?
Coming from Mauricio Pochettino right now, who's aiming high with his side. I mean, why shouldn't he aim high? Why shouldn't he say that? What's the point in being in a World Cup if you're not going to aim high? But are you surprised to see this 27%?
No, because it's the people who voted are from CONCACAF, so that's to see it set up. But Mauricio Pochettino, he's changing his tune. Because at first he's like, okay, guys, we can't win the World Cup. Let's try to be like South Korea. Let's try to be like Morocco. Let's try to be like Turkey. Let's try to make a run, do something special. And now all of a sudden, it's no, we have to go. We have to have the mentality of winning the World Cup, guys. He's trying to educate now the U.S. press on what it is international football. He wants this to be an actual footballing culture. Well, in a real footballing culture, like he says, if he was the coach in Argentina and they went in a spell with 13, 14 months where they weren't playing well, he wouldn't make it. Yeah. He wouldn't make it to the World Cup. Now, he's got a spell of 5 games where the U.S. men's national team has played well and very well against World Cup opposition that I will say we have to take with a grain of salt. The World Cup opposition that came to the United States where the games were played, they were already qualified for the World Cup. They were coming with BC teams evaluating players, as maybe he was as well, but you have to take that with a grain of salt. There's still a lot of people, and I'm included, I have no idea if the 11 that he tried it out for the last 5 games or somewhere near that is going to be the 11 we see come next summer. Those are question marks. Do they have the talent to make a run? Sure, but what is a run? A quarterfinal? Because they don't have the top-level talent it takes to get to the semifinal or maybe beyond, and that's the truth.
Yeah, but Eric, when we played in '98 before the World Cup, I tell you, and Jules can witness that, we weren't there. We drew so many times. We drew just before the tournament. We drew against Finland.
Name your starting lineup, real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to tell you this, Frank, but your team may be better than the United States.
Name your starting lineup, Frank.
Yeah, but at the time, we were very criticized by the media because our football weren't there. That Aimé Jacquet was a bad coach. That
Jules as well.
Jules was the first.
How many games did Fabio Martinez have?
No, I don't know, but no.
Because Matt Freese has 11.
Yes. Of course, I know that. But the thing is, we weren't at the stage where Zidane was Zidane. Before '98, Zidane wasn't Zidane, and he had very good games.
Still had Zidane.
Starting from the three, of course. You don't have a chance to have a Zidane. Is what you're saying at a certain point. But it wasn't there. So I just want to say that playing in your own soil, it brings something different. So maybe for United States, maybe for Mexico, and maybe for my favorite, Canada.
There we go.
something will come up.
Maybe. I want to hear from Gab. I think Gab wanted to say something when Herc was talking there.
You know, just numbers. You talk about home side. Maybe Frank is doing this on purpose, but since 1978, right? So we're going back a long, long time. Only once has a host nation actually gone on to win the World Cup.
Argentina.
Or I could put it differently. Number of teams without Frank Leboeuf who have won a World Cup on home soil since Argentina did in 1978, 0. Okay, so they haven't even reached the final. We even had a host in the final, except for France in 1998. So I think this whole like home nation advantage, whatever, is vastly overplayed. I think it's part of the larger argument about why a CONCACAF team is extremely unlikely to win it. The other one being that Mexico's a shambles right now and the U.S. is not particularly good or proven. So yeah, I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, but host nation, no, not a factor.
Korea ended up finishing 3rd.
Yeah, but well, okay.
Okay. You want to talk about it?
I don't know you want to go there, bro. You don't want to go there.
No, but I like where Grab's going with this because
you got a Spaniard and an Italian
exactly.
here. You don't want to bring up Korea.
Sure. There's something that this team, the U.S. men's national team, has lacked is that home field advantage throughout its history. They play games against Mexico, it's not a home field advantage. They play games against Colombia, it's not a home field advantage. They play games against maybe 80% of the world, and it won't be a home field advantage. This is a footballing country, but it is not a U.S. men's national team country.
All right. Are you making an argument for the United States or not? Because I'm confused.
No, I don't think so.
I'm making clearly
Hey,
not.
Casey! Where's Casey?
Does Casey think the U.S. are going to win the World Cup?
Well, no.
No.
He's having
There
a
you go.
cheer. Leave him alone.
Casey Keller in the wings. We've got our research team in the wings too. So yeah, anything you guys want to know, Alex is over there ready to answer it as well when it comes to some of these.
Shout out to Alex. Alex makes the
we could
show.
be
Hey,
taking.
thank you, Alex.
Absolutely, he makes the show. Absolutely, he makes the show. What are your thoughts on the poll, Maiden?
Yeah, I think as the guys were saying, it feels like maybe there are a few members of the North American football fandom that's saying they're going to go and win the competition. So more power to them. Makes it exciting for them in the summer. And yes, to be fair, I completely forgot that most teams that do host it do not actually make it to the final or win it. But who's to say this can't be the first time? And I think overall as well, the fact that the USA, just to mention them, have actually been better in recent months, that's a huge positive. Because if we go back 6-7 months, it sounded like it was a disaster. And this was probably going to be one of the most disappointing World Cup campaigns we've seen. But sometimes all you need is that little bit of hope. And if the USA have that hope, I think in some ways it can sort of affect the way that the tournament is viewed nationally. So that's a positive for them, and obviously for Canada and Mexico as well. You know, this could be an absolutely incredible tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And